The point of the teachings is to remove all thinking, all thought, all concepts. That's also called stilling the mind. For most of us, the simplest way is to let go. The simplest way is not to worry about stilling the mind. And just and say, okay, I want to still the mind, and then say, okay, mind, do what you like. I'm just going to relax and be here. And then you let the mind do its thing. And after a certain amount of time, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it starts to slow down. Because you're not paying it enough attention. And that's like a surrender practice. It's like if you've got a bowl of water and you've been carrying the bowl of water around and there's some ripples on the surface of the water because you're carrying it around. Well, you just put the bowl on the coffee table, on the tabletop, and you just allow the ripples to just carry on. Because you've been walking around, the ripples will naturally carry on for a while. You don't try and smooth them out with your hand. You don't try and get your hand and say, oh gosh, there's some ripples, let me try and smooth them out. Because what does that do? That creates more ripples. So for most of us, the way to still the mind is not to try and still the mind. It's just, okay, mind, I'm just going to pop you on the table there, like a bowl of water, and you can do what you like, And then after some time, every time you start looking and nudging it around, it makes it worse. You see? The you that is trying to still the mind is a part of these ripples. You don't realize. You might think you're separate, someone separate, but actually, when you are the part of the ripple. So you just let it be. So this is summed up when Ramana says, be still. In Tamil, summa illa means be still. Ramana said, no desire or no wants is the greatest bliss. No want is the greatest bliss. No want is the greatest bliss. The greatest bliss means the self. So it's a different way of thinking about the self. It's no want, no desire. No wants is the self. No wants means you just allow everything to be as it is. This is also called surrender. Now, most of us will find when you do this, you'll let go, you won't pay attention to thoughts. And then 2 minutes later, you'll find yourself thinking again. Or 10 minutes later, you'll find yourself thinking again, and you realize you've been thinking for 8 minutes. But you only realize 8 minutes in. This is what tends to happen. You go, okay, I'm going to put this bowl of water, which is the mind, and all my worries, concerns. I'm just going to pop this on the table and let my mind do whatever it was. I'm just going to stay uninvolved. And before you know it, you've been thinking for like a few minutes. Then you realize, oh yes, I've been thinking. I'm just going to let the mind be. Next thing you know, you're thinking again. Or you might be very good at doing it in meditation after some time. But then when you're in the everyday world, you just get caught up all the time. So Bhagavan gives us a practical technique. He says, the mind is not very good at thinking about nothing. Your mind, the busy mind, if your mind's a busy mind, is used to thinking. So to go from thinking to nothing is quite difficult. So let's give it something else to think about. Let's let it think of just about one thing. Now, what is this one thing you should think about? Well, it's best to think about something pure and holy and that you love. It can be the breath, which means just watching the breath. Not thinking about the breath, but attending to the breath. It can be a mantra, or it can be a deity, a guru, or some other object, flower, a stone, a leaf. Best is if you have some kind of inclination towards this object already, some kind of love or attraction to this object already. Hopefully the reason for that is obvious, because you're more likely to succeed in being attentive to it. And then eventually you let go of this object once the mind has attained a certain amount of calm. Once your mind has attained that certain amount of calm, you can just stay there and stay calm for as long as you like to. At some point, that itself will grow tiresome. That probably means you've done a lot of healing. Because for many people, just staying in that calm place is lovely. But then it comes to a point where that itself is not satisfactory. It becomes dull, it becomes boring or something, or you realize this is not the solution. And then you can ask your question, who am I? And go with it. The other option we have is, instead of attending to an object as a method to still our mind, by the way, attending to an object in Sanskrit, they call that dhyana. Dhyan. Dhyan means, loosely translated, meditation, concentrative meditation, dhyana. So that's the path of dhyan, meditation, where we allow our mind to rest in an object. The other method is to attend directly to the I am, the subject, which is self-inquiry proper. You can either do some preparatory thing first, such as dhyan, and then when your mind is calm, you turn inwards towards the self and do self-inquiry. Or you can go straight for self-inquiry and tend straight to the I am. And again, many people can't do that. Their minds are too busy. So often one of the easiest things to do, if you're a devotee of Ramanas or of someone else, is get a photo of Ramana or whoever else and chant his name. Ramana, Ramana, Ramana. Feel love towards him. Allow your love for him and his love for you to emerge and fill you up. And don't worry about your mind at all. Just allow yourself to fill up with love and happiness and be with him. That's it. Then remember, he is not outside of you, he is you. And then that will automatically calm the mind and go to self-inquiry. Because you know he's in your heart, your attention will eventually go inwards.